So everyone always says, if a deal is too good to be true, then it probably isn't. Well, Starlink is putting that to the test with the latest round of promotions that they've just launched this week. I've seen several social media posts actually of people posting screenshots of their checkouts on Starlink.com, wondering if this is a scam or if this is real or a glitch on the website, because honestly, the deal seems too good to be true. Starlink is offering free kits, free installation, and discounted monthly pricing on their service plans for several areas around the world, including in the United States and Australia. And I wanted to make this video to go over all the changes because more than just the pricing and the free kits and everything, there's some interesting parts of this story. So let's jump right into it. When I go to Starlink.com and enter in my address as a new customer, I can see this deal available in my area, and it's pretty interesting. So as you can see right here, I'm getting the offer of a free Starlink kit, $0, free roof installation, $0, and discounted pricing of $59 per month for the residential light service plan. There's also a discount on the regular residential if you want to go that route. But this is pretty insane. They've done free kit offers in the past, so that's nothing new. What is new is offering free roof installation and a combination of those two things. So my upfront cost is really just a shipping and handling charge of $20 and a little bit of tax on the full MSRP of the kit. So just over 20 bucks and I can have Starlink internet. That is pretty insane. That's the lowest price that I think I've ever seen up front for a Starlink kit, considering when I got my dish, it cost $600. This free kit and free installation deal isn't available everywhere. In the United States where I live, it's only in select areas, generally with excess network capacity. I'll put a map up on the screen where that is generally going to be available, and it does cover a pretty large area of the United States. I believe this is also available in countries like Australia and the UK. You'll just have to check the Starlink website for your specific address to see what deals are available to you. In some areas of the United States, like in Iowa, for example, the deal is even better. So not only does Iowa get the free kit, the free roof installation, but they get a discounted service plan of $49 per month for residential light for the first 12 months. That is an insane deal. I mean, they're practically throwing Starlink kits at people to try to get signups in places like Iowa with an excess network capacity. There are definitely a lot of interesting things about this promotion that I want to dig into. Let's start with that free kit. You may have noticed when I showed you the video of me ordering this that it's not actually a free kit that you get to keep. This is a rental kit. The cost of it is free, $0 per month for the rental fee, but you never own this kit. They give it to you on loan to use while you're paying for your residential subscription. As soon as you cancel, you have to send that kit back. You're never gonna own this hardware. Right now, it seems like that rental fee of $0 per month will continue at least for the first 12 months during that commitment period, and Starlink could potentially keep that $0 per month rate going past that, or they could raise it to whatever rental fee they see fit. We'll just have to wait and see. There's no information on the Starlink website. I didn't find anything in the terms of service that indicated a future price for that rental fee after the 12 months, so we'll just have to wait and see. You may have also noticed that there's actually no option for me to purchase a Starlink kit from the Starlink website for residential service. They have removed the option for me to buy my own kit completely if I'm going to be ordering residential. And that is one of the most interesting things to me about this whole story, is that they're playing around with the idea that maybe for residential home internet users, you don't actually need to buy your equipment anymore. They're gonna send it to you for free, maybe a small rental charge, like a lot of ISPs do currently. You know, you think about it like with your fiber or cable or 5G wireless, most of those companies don't charge you for the equipment that you're receiving, or they might charge you maybe a $5 or $10 a month, like modem lease or something like that. But it's pretty rare in ISPs to charge people up front for equipment, especially hundreds of dollars for equipment like Starlink does. So this new rental option is definitely interesting, especially just how quickly it has expanded. Pretty much overnight, we had this rental arrangement pop up in the United States. If I would have ordered Starlink last week for my address, I would have paid $349 for a standard kit. Now though, when I go to order, it's a free kit, free roof installation. So they definitely changed things up. We'll just have to wait and see though. Is this a promotional period like at the end of 2025 where they want to increase sales? Or is this something moving forward that they'll play around with as a permanent business model where they're just going to offer people free kits as long as they pay that monthly residential subscription. Now, I also want to point out, if you do live in one of these areas where that rental option is your only option from Starlink.com, I will say you can definitely still go to a third-party retailer like Best Buy, buy a kit for full MSRP, and then activate it on a residential plan. So you're not stuck renting if that's not what you want, but you can definitely have to go a roundabout way of ordering your Starlink residential kit through a third-party retailer, and then you can activate residential on it. The other interesting thing about this promotion is the free roof installation. Now, we've seen Starlink offer roof installations through third-party companies, third-party contractors for a while now. But at this point in time, it's available in all 50 states in the US. Other countries are coming as well. It's available, I believe, in Australia, but now it's a free option. It depends on location, but at my address and some of the other addresses I checked where they're offering this free rental kit, they're also offering free roof installation. And that's pretty crazy, right? They're taking all of the upfront burden off of the customers. You don't have to pay for the equipment. You don't have to worry about climbing on the roof and installing your dish. They will do everything for you for free. And regarding those free installations, it's definitely interesting because we've seen horror stories recently about some of those DSI installations that Starlink is contracting through. And one of them recently posted on Reddit was especially bad. So this person had a home with a brick exterior, and instead of doing it properly the right way, that installer decided to drill right through the wood part of a window. And it actually cracked their window trim and completely compromised the water seal and integrity of that window. They just drilled right through the first bit of wood that they can find instead of drilling through the brick, which is the correct way to do it. And honestly, it was pretty amazing because you could see in their photo that they shared, you could see daylight from outside. I don't know what this installer was thinking, but this was just an absolutely horrible job. And you've got to be cautious on this. And they actually went on to explain in several comments that they had zero luck getting DSI to come back out and fix this. This was something that they were actually asking social media for help with because they didn't know what else to do. Starlink didn't want to help them. DSI did not want to help them. It's honestly a mess. And I believe what they ended up having to do was call another independent contractor, pay them to reroute the cable properly, and then pay somebody to fix that window, because honestly, that is some pretty horrible damage. So that's the kind of thing that you have to watch out for with these Starlink installations. I'm not saying that every installer is going to be incompetent like this one was, but it's definitely a risk that you run into. If you're handy with tools, with basic power tools, and you can climb up on a ladder, I definitely think that you're better off installing Starlink yourself, unless you really just don't want to do it. I have a ton of tutorials on this channel and reviews that show you step-by-step how to install most Starlink mounts, so definitely check out those tutorials on this channel if you need help installing a mount. I also have good news for existing Starlink customers. So most promotions in the past, Starlink has only applied to brand new Starlink customers. So if you were an existing customer, you didn't have access to any of these deals. But that's different with this time around. So Starlink is opening these promotions up to existing customers. In the terms and conditions, they actually specify that these deals will apply to brand new Starlink customers or existing Starlink customers who add a new subscription. So if you have an older kit, maybe you signed up for Starlink in 2021 or 2022, and you've been wondering if you should upgrade to the latest and greatest equipment, now is potentially a good time to do that. Because if you live in an area with these free kit options or free installation options, you can go on there as an existing customer, add a new residential subscription, get the free kit, and then cancel your old residential subscription. That way you basically upgrade for totally free. You do switch, obviously, to a rental arrangement instead of owning your equipment, but I don't really see a problem with that for residential accounts. And finally, for this video, let's talk about this whole rental arrangement. So like I mentioned earlier, in some places, you actually don't even have the ability to buy a Starlink kit for residential anymore. It's rent only. That's the only option that Starlink.com presents you, unless you go through a third-party retailer. A lot of people were kind of on the fence about this, or maybe they were kind of weary of a rental arrangement. They'd rather own their equipment. In my opinion, I think for residential home internet applications, this makes a lot of sense. There's really no benefit to owning the dish that's on your roof, especially if the rent is $0 per month. Now, if the rent price increases in the future to, let's say, 20 or 30 bucks a month, then the equation kind of changes because the math changes. But at $0 per month, there is absolutely no benefit to going out and buying a Starlink kit if you're going to be using it for residential service. There are some exceptions there though. If you're the type of person that's going to be moving around, maybe you want to buy a kit for a house temporarily and then you're going to plan on moving in a year. Remember, if you're doing that rental arrangement and you sign up in one area where the rental arrangement is available and then you move, you could be on the hook for a change fee. Also, if you're the type of person that's going to potentially cancel your service, you may want to look into buying your equipment outright. Because if you sign up for that rental option and you cancel your service, you're gonna have to return that kit within 30 days. Otherwise, Starlink's gonna charge you the full retail price of it. And I don't think the rental option makes a lot of sense for roam or travel usage either. So with roam specifically, a lot of people do what I do, which is you use it seasonally. So you're camping maybe in the spring to the fall, and then over the winter time, you're putting your dish into storage and you're not using it. Maybe you cancel your plan and reactivate it later, or maybe you put it in the new standby mode. But either way, you're not gonna be paying the full monthly service price of a roam plan. With that rental arrangement, it assumes that you're paying for residential continuously, and that's why they're offering you that $0 per month equipment rental. With roam, it doesn't make a lot of sense to do it that way. I'd rather own my equipment outright. That way I can just cancel and keep it dormant as long as I need and then reactivate later. And I don't have to worry about any of the weird fees or returning the kit or anything like that. So this new round of promotions, super interesting stuff. Could Starlink be moving away from equipment purchasing for home internet? We'll just have to wait and see. It's too early to say whether this is just a limited time promotional deal to get people to sign up for Starlink internet before the end of the year, or maybe they're trying this out as kind of a pilot program to see how people respond to having zero upfront equipment costs. We'll just have to wait and see, but it definitely is interesting and I wanted to make a video and talk about it. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What are the pricing and deals available in your area? And do you like this new rent-only option for residential service? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Really appreciate you watching and supporting the channel. If you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and subscribe so you never miss any of my new videos. I'll see you in the next one.